Hello, I'm glad to have you here. Today, I want to go over talking about 5 basics that you need to be able to go live. And very simple, very easy, but I just want to bring them up, talk to you about them, and give you a little bit of information around certain parts of the 5 things that I'm going to share today. So as you're hopping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know if you're going live or not. If not, why not? Or if you really don't want to put it in there, you don't have to, but just think about it. And because it's it's just really one of those things that lets people be able to see you, authentically you, and be able to hear you and so on and get to know you. So we talked yesterday in general about live video, and today I wanted to go over just the basics of what you need to be able to go live. And so before I do that, let me introduce myself to those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting. My name is Cherie Woodard, and I help business builders and entrepreneurs to use social media to get prospects, leads, and sales in their business. And I do that in a variety of ways. I use attraction marketing, lead generation, as well as live video. And I give updated, modern, and trending strategies and tips to help. So that is basically what I do. And I'm talking this week about live video and what's holding people back, or if anybody's but no one's put anything in there, but I know that there are some things that hold people back from being in video challenges with that my mentor puts on, and just from other people hearing the things that they say, in the group, or just people in general, and in other instances that I've run into that are building their business and they're not going live. And, we happen to be talking and having a conversation, and they'll say, no, I'm not doing that. So anyway, I decided today that I would go over 5 basic needs, and it's very simple, because when I first started out, and I'll tell you this really quick. When I first started out, I started using my phone because my I found out that the camera that was on the computer that I was using when I first started out, it just showed me in a real dark light, and I couldn't really, I was like foggy. It wasn't clear, basically. It wasn't foggy, but it just wasn't clear. Like, you couldn't see, the edges of the end of my face, or, stuff ran into each other. So, basically, I started using my phone, which basically had most of the things that I needed. So I'm going to go on. I have my notes here. So I'm going to go on and go according to the list that I have written here. And these are in no particular order, but this is basic things that you would need to go live. So number one, you would need a camera. And a camera would come as a part of your computer, your laptop, and definitely your phone. Your phone is going to have the ability to, I mean, nowadays it's a lot of people just, they do their lives primarily using their phone. I'm one of those people, I'm more of a computer person, but a lot of people do their lives with their cell phone. And the cell phone has the other things that I'm going to name here. So the other thing that I have here is a light source. Now, the light source is not a part of your camera, that kind of thing. But so you would need light, like I have my ceiling light that I used for a long time. When I first started going live, I would go live in my kitchen. I was on my counter that's right around my kitchen, and I would just use that light, and it was enough that it was shining on my face, because when you're using your light source, you definitely don't want it to be behind you, because then it makes you look darker. So, it's just a tip. So when your light source should be something that you don't want something that's going to like, totally like wash out your or your face, or so that people can't see you. So basically my ceiling fan light was good enough after I stopped using my kitchen light, when I decided to get a different desk and more space and give myself a little bit more room. And but yeah, light source is really important, and that's one of those things. Like I said, don't have the light coming from behind you. Have the light shining in front of you, and it doesn't have to be like right close up on you. Oh, I remember Helen telling a story about how she had set up hers, and she was doing this, and she was already doing great at what she was doing in her business. And she said that she remembered she would sweat because of how she had things set up. So she was sweating, and it would just finally she found a different way to do it, so that because the light that she was using, and I want to say something about there's so much sun. She has a lot of windows, and so there she was using natural light, but I can't remember. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have even tried to tell her story, but it was just, when it was comical to me. It was funny because when she said she was sweating to death back there, and, she's like got these lights on her, and she's, trying to do her lives, and, but you couldn't tell it. I mean, the lives were great, but she, in the meantime, said she was actually remembered sweating so much when she was doing her lives. So, for me, I just make sure that I keep my light source in front of me. It doesn't have to be real close, in front of me, but you want to have it so that it's shining enough so that you can see me. You can see the features of my face. You can see my eyes. You can see, you you can basically see me. It's almost like a moving. Well, it is a moving picture. It's a video. So I'm sorry, but yeah. I I was, so anyway, let me move on. So that's it for the light source. So be careful. Make sure that you don't have the light too close up on you, because you don't want to have the sweating thing going on. If you can help that, and just like I said, it's really something simple. Just keep it simple, keep it basic. The next thing is a microphone. Now, I use the microphone that comes from my computer, or I use the microphone that's a part of my phone. So that's another thing. That's if you have your phone already, or your laptop, or a computer, a desktop, your microphone, check it out and see if it's good enough. See how you sound. If you sound normal to yourself when you play back, to listen and see, how it went, whatever it was, when you're testing just to see what's happening, then yeah, check it out and see how you sound. If you sound like you, then microphone good. I think that probably as people continue to grow into doing lives, then they might buy special microphone. But I can remember also, again, Helen saying that for the longest time she didn't have a separate mic. She just had something. I think she uses her phone, and or she might be using her laptop, as her source. So there's a microphone right there. It's not something you need to run out and go buy, spend a lot of money on, especially when you're just starting out. And I don't know, I can't remember, but Helen said she used just the microphone that was, on her computer or on her phone for forever. And I remember she had finally, bought herself a microphone as a present one year, and she showed it to us, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, so microphone. The other thing is you'll need to have an internet connection, and make sure it's a decent one. I have had where my internet has gone out and given me trouble, but over time I have taken care of that and gotten a better internet service, and so then that was better. So make sure at least you have a decent internet connection. And I mean, we're all going to have tech issues. That's just a part of it. But, so if it's storming or something, it might not work as well. Maybe you need to do it later, maybe you need to do it earlier or whatever. But just so that you know, at least you're going to need an internet connection and at least a decent one. And then basically the last thing is whatever it is that you want to share to educate someone, to entertain, or to inspire, people, whatever that is, have that down and maybe have some, it's okay to have notes, and I usually have just, some the words, I don't write out everything that I'm going to say. I'll just put down my bullet points and basically then I just go from there. Um, I don't, it's not one of the things, let me just, how do I say this? Um, you don't want to read it um, because you're looking down or looking at yourself. That's the other thing that I might want to bring up because I've done it twice and looking at myself. But as you are, you know, doing your live, you want to make sure that you look at the camera instead of looking at yourself. So now I'm looking at the camera and this is me looking at myself. And it, just give you a different angle. And for the longest time, I didn't know the difference, so I was looking at myself. But as I went through Helen's, video challenge course, that's when I learned, oh, okay, I need to be looking, at the camera. And it was kind of, different for me, but it took me a little practice. I got it though. And now I look at my camera pretty much. I don't look at myself because I want my eye contact to be so that I'm making eye contact with you. So basically, let me see, that's it. Those are the five things that I wanted to go over. The five things about being able to just do basic stuff, just to do a live video. And one thing that I mentioned the other day, but I'm going to mention it again. I have it in a little note here by camera. If you're going to use your camera, I remember when I first started using my phone, and as my camera and my source to do my live videos, I bought a selfie stick. I went on, Amazon, or you can go on, Walmart or Target or whatever store you shop at, or and get a selfie stick. I mean, I've seen some really nice small ones, but when I was looking, I found one. It's not huge, but it does the work. It does the good job. And when I was standing up doing my lives, then and I was doing it on my kitchen, as on the counter, it worked fine. It was tall enough for me, and people were able to see me. Basically, I was in the middle of the screen just like I am here. And so, yeah, I like that. So basically, it's not like you have to do that, but a selfie stick, or, make sure that you, like right now, I use my phone sometimes with my notes, and I'll have my title just in case, you know, don't remember for whatever reason. I mean, but I always like to make sure that I record, or have a whatever my topic is. I always write those down. And so since I use my phone a lot, I just put it in my phone, and so I have all of my titles of topics that I've talked about and that kind of thing. So I just have it here, and I use it as for notes sometimes for different things. So anyway, but yeah, I used to use it on a selfie stick when I was using my phone in my kitchen. And I used, like I said, the kitchen light as my light source, and it wasn't too bright. It was fine. So basically, that is it. I hope this was helpful for you. Any questions that you have, feel free. You can always just, message me. I'm in Messenger, and ask me if you something that I didn't explain well enough or something that you might like to go over. You can always message me and ask me a question or whatever it is. And so that is it. Tomorrow, we'll go over some other things that I want to talk to you about live video. And then tomorrow's Thursday, and Thursday is the last day that I go live. And so we'll do that tomorrow, and we'll talk about basically some other things about lives that you might want to know that would be helpful. So I'm going to go on and get off here. Take care. Have a good one, and talk soon. Bye now.